Hi everyone, welcome to Lumio Palooza 2026. My name is Hunter Cossum, and today we're going to be learning from Cristina Barnett from White Settlement ISD here in North Texas. Today I want you to share in the chat where you're joining from, and I see some of us have already done that, a session you're looking forward to, or something that has already resonated with you. Lumio Palooza is a free global professional learning event led by educators around the world. This session is going to be recorded, and you will receive the session recording via email next week. You'll also receive some links in the chat throughout, including a survey link for your certificate at the end. We'd love for you to become a student for a few minutes, so join the Lumio lesson using lumioclass.com and the code for this session. We will pop in on the screen and it will be in the chat. Feel free to ask any questions throughout the session, and we will make sure to answer all of them for you. We will take time at the end of the session to share our experiences on social media, and during the session, if you see something you like, snap a screenshot to share on socials with hashtag LumioPalooza 2026, hashtag GoLumio. We are now going to bring in our presenter. We have Cristina Barnett here. So Cristina is originally from Argentina and has lived in Texas since 2003. She's a fourth grade dual language teacher with 21 years of teaching experience. Let's give a shout out for that. She's been using Lumio for the past 6 years and was hooked from the start. She loves how easy it is to create engaging and interactive lessons while still meeting all of her instructional needs. She let me know that as a teacher, she appreciates Lumio's new features, regular updates, and the genuine commitment we have to making teaching better for educators and making learning more engaging for students. So without further ado, Cristina Barnett, would you like to start your session?
Yes. And if you please join, I think the code is right there. I have some activities that would be fun to do. I'm super passionate about Lumio, but I'm not a trainer, so I'm just sharing based on my experience. Here is my contact information if somebody wants to follow me on media. I work in North Texas, close to Fort Worth.
And Cristina, one thing that I love that you said, I'm not a trainer, you're an educator, which is the one thing that I love about Lumio Palooza is that you're really going to be teaching this audience from your heart and showing them what you do and how you use Lumio Palooza, or sorry, how you use Lumio in your classroom.
Yes, so I'm going to jump to our agenda, and the objective for today is to create a lesson, a full-blown lesson from the hook to the assessment to the end, that it could pinpoint my favorite activities for Lumio, and it will touch all the check boxes. So to me, the lesson has 3 parts. Number 1, the why, where you have the objectives, the hook, the direct teaching, then the interactive flow, which is where the kids will interact more and you will use a lot more Lumio and what they create too. And finally, the closure, when they do reflection and assessment. So those are my 3 parts. And we're going to get started. This is one activity. It's a whole class whiteboard, and I have a question for you. Which lesson phase do you believe Lumio is the most effective? And what you can do is just grab the firefly and put it where you think is the most effective. So I'm going to give you a few moments. Introducing new concepts, reteaching or reviewing, or engaging students differently. Which one do you think is the most effective? Interesting. And this is an example of a hook where we're going to talk in just a moment. It's very easy to do, and the picture is right from the template. Awesome. So most of the answers go to engaging. But I'm going to show you that reteaching, review, and introducing concepts could be a good spot for Lumio. Anybody else? Okay, let me, very interesting. Okay, yes, motivation was the number one thing that hooked me at the beginning when I learned about Lumio. It was how fun it was for the kids to participate. And over time, I learned more and more tools, and I realized, oh, I can use it all throughout the lesson. So the first part is the why or when. When are you going to do all this full lesson? Because Lumio is really good on the fly to do many activities. But what I'm going to show you today is how you can do a full lesson from start to finish using different tools or using some of my favorite tools. When are you going to do this? This is extra time. You have to plan. You have to put more activities. You have to really do a lot of planning to do. Well, when you have a new unit, new concepts, when you have to reteach. For example, I teach fourth grade math, and we have to do reviews for a test. And sometimes just a worksheet or a packet is too boring. So we can do a lesson to review that is a lot more engaging. The kids will like it a lot more, and you can collect data that you can use for the assessment. Also, if you have a boarding activity, a boarding lesson, in my school district, for example, we are required to do the basal adoption, and we need to use those materials. And sometimes they are boring. The kids are not very engaged. So we can bring to life a lesson that is kind of boring. And what I do all the time in my formal observation, when you want all the check boxes from your appraisal. In Texas, we have a 45-minute observation once a year or once every other year, where we're supposed to show a master lesson, and we want to get high scores. I want my report card to show that I really can touch all the different aspects. So that Lumio lesson is my go-to in this case. So the plan. First, you start with the objective. There has to be the content, the performance, the language. I'm a dual language teacher, so a lot of the time what I'm teaching also needs to touch development of language, the first or the second language. And you have to have differentiation. You have to have scaffolds, you have to have visuals, you have to have maybe embedded the dyslexia font. Maybe you need to have your extensions for your advanced learners, all these and other accommodations. This could be a completely different webinar just by itself, but when you plan, that's how you can put all the boxes in. So I shared my lesson outline and what I use when I'm planning a lesson like this. And in this plan, you will see it has the hook, the direct instruction, guided practice, independent practice, and closing. What resource are you using? And I have a checkbox with what are my favorite activities from Lumio or games that I can use in each one of them. So I get to plan how I want it. So if you want to open it up, I think they are sharing the link in the chat too. You can make a copy and you can start planning your own lesson. And the hook is the one that we did earlier. Very simple. My take on the hook is that it cannot be a graphic organizer. It has to be something simple. It has to take minutes to do and no more than that, because you really just want to engage, activate prior knowledge, and move on. My favorites, the shout out, the whole class whiteboard, the one that we did earlier, where the kids just move a picture or an icon or something to show me where they are. And as earlier we saw strongly that all of you thought, well, motivation is the key in Lumio. Well, here are others. So when you add your own content, you add a page, you can upload it from your computer, from your PDF, your PowerPoint, your Google Slides. You can put YouTube videos, all that. Everything is in the other page pop-up when you start your lesson in Lumio. You can do, for hooks, you can do response, a poll, you can do true or false, you can do rank order, really quick activities just to get everybody hooked on. Direct instruction is another one that you do, and this is mainly teacher-led. So how do you introduce a concept? It has to be specific, target. You use your required materials. That was my challenge last year when I need to do exactly that. I couldn't not use anything else except just my district provided materials. So modeling example, how can I add a whiteboard and model? I teach math, so it has to be a lot of modeling. So these are my favorites. Adding a video, I can add YouTube video. I have one at the end of this presentation I can show you. I can embed content from another source. I can do simulations. I can do manipulatives, all that. The handouts or notes that I like to maybe prepare ahead of time and make copies so the kids can have in their interactive notebooks to refer later on. Direct instruction is very teacher-led, but this page is my favorite and is what I use the most when I'm teaching. Here are some examples. When I used to teach grammar, I will have these slides that are provided, and I will just explain and make notes for the kids to see. The perpendicular and parallel lines is an example of a vocabulary page. And what I did, I just added pictures for the kids to see that parallel lines can be like airplanes, or perpendicular lines could be cars on a parking lot or corners. And these I can download as a PDF and make copies for the kids to have in their notebooks. It's a lot of English and Spanish because I'm a dual language teacher. So you will see, these are real examples of some of my lessons that I use. When you are done with the guided and independent practice, is where you will use the most Lumio, yes. And my go-to are handouts. And one of the activities that I have here, I don't know if you see it, is a picture. It was required for the kids to do division using office supplies. I didn't have enough. So I put them in Lumio, and the kids could drag the pictures, and I put the pictures on the infinite cloner, which will create an automatic copy, and they can drag and do the division in the boxes. I can check, provide feedback in real time of what they were doing. And it was a lot easier, cleaner, and the kids were very excited to be participant in creating things. You can have a group workspace, which is one of the activities that are there. You have games. And here are some of my favorite. The choice boards, so the kids can choose what they want to do and try different activities. I love choice board. Yes, you can, and I create them on Google Slides with all the links, and that immediately put them in Lumio with just one click, and it's so easy. Off-screen object, this is one of my latest favorites. I found it, I think it was June or maybe late May. There is a presentation in the Lumio library that show you exactly, better than me, how to create off-screen objects. Basically, you can create a tab that the kids can slide off, like I'm showing, and they can check their answers. So one of the activities that I pull, and this is from Lumio library, we show fourth graders how to use a protractor. They could move the protractor, measure the angle, and then pull the tab and check if that measurement was correct or not. So it was one of their favorite things to do, and they really like it. So the off-screen objects could be on individual handouts, yes. And also all the ones from the choice board can have individual handouts. So you can convert guided practice, so you provide immediate feedback, or independent practice where you can go back later and look at what the kids did and evaluate if they got the idea or not.
Christina, we have a quick request. Could you go over to the wand and turn this into an individual handout so the participants can see how that feels to pull out that
Oh,
that arrow, the off-screen object, sorry. So over on the left side, yep, perfect. And just make into it. And then now everyone, you will have the opportunity to see how that
if you can
off-screen
pull
object works.
the tab. And there are a lot of ideas for the off-screen objects. And just pull the tab. You can mess it up. I tried.
And as people are doing that, I just wanted to point out, so on your page right now, what are we looking at? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
This is the activity dashboard. So when you have an individual handout, you can look at the what the students are doing. And I love that you can all see their names right now. So you can look at the class overview, who did the activity, who had it completed, who's still working on, and what happened with these kids that didn't start yet.
They might need a little refocus over at their table or something.
Yes, sometimes the computer doesn't work. It is. Yeah, I love. I think it was, I don't know, April, May, maybe when
It was
I
a
found
couple, a couple months ago, we released
yes,
that
yes,
into
but
our.
it was around for a while, I think. So,
Yeah.
yes. So this is
And
the
then can you see, would you be able to open up and see a student's work?
Yes. Yes, you can open it up and see. And the kids, I don't know, some students don't like it. I never have one. Actually, in my class, they are, look at mine, pull mine, pull mine. They want to show everybody what they've done. Like, as I said, I teach math. So sometimes this elaborate algorithm that they need to follow, and they love to show their work. So
I love how you said that with math too, because they can really see the difference in how students are solving the different problems. And then if you don't want the students to see other people's work, you can always have that separate device and be logged on, right? And looking at their student work there.
yes. Yes.
Very good.
Yes. So, okay, I'm going to go on. I'm afraid that I'm going to run out of time.
No, you're good. Yes.
So here is another one of my favorites. And it's the rank order. It's one of these, the three activities, rank order, super sort, that will provide also data for you to see. This is a particular one, another one that I learned just, it's going slow, I guess, I don't know. It's raining very hard here, so my internet is pretty good, but I don't know what happened now.
That happens sometimes, and sometimes you just have to refresh the top piece.
I'm gonna do that. So in some of these activities, I found out maybe it's one of the new features where you can set if you want the students to check the answers or not. So let's see if now it's working. Oh, yes. Yes. And you can model the activity. In this case, there are 4 pictures. What is the most problematic for the teacher to the least problematic for the teacher? So I show always the kids, you can look at the pictures and see what it is. It's like no homework, the technology problem, oversharing, overusing, grades, no more grades. A lot of people want to get rid of grades, or strict discipline is required. So let's see. You can see who is still, oops. You can grade out the names too. And let's see the results. Where people are saying incorrect or correct. I set it up in a way that there is no right or correct answer. but I'll show you in a moment. So I think the no homework is very divided. What do you think is more problematic for a teacher? No homework or strict discipline? What do you think? And you can go over and see. And what I love about Lumio is that you can click on this triangle at the top, and any activity has a short video that explains how you can create it or how you can do it. So let me move you to the next slide. Here it is what I was talking about. So when you have in Gather Independent Practice, you have all these game-based activities that are all fun. Rank order is right here. And when you create the rank order, you can put pictures, you can put words, and they classified based on how you want and what the ranking labels. I have the most problematic to the least problematic of the teacher. And here is what I was talking about. You can check instantly if the kids can see if that's correct or not when prompted, or don't check. I put don't check because I wanted to see what were your opinions. So this is opinion-based rank order. When you just want to see what they are thinking about a specific topic, I can see this very useful for like language arts, maybe, or history. What event will be most important or less important. And also at the very top right, you have the one when you are creating your lesson, and you can convert individual handout, group space, or the whole class whiteboard. Now, you can do all these also during the lesson in the presentation. In the past, I had to stop my lesson to make quick changes, but I love it that with this new update, I can just do it at the moment. Like I did just a moment ago, convert that slide into a handout. It's so cool. I really like all the new updates. And here is one more activity. This is just going into assessment. This is a monster. I'm going to divide in teams. Let's see. And just randomly. And let's see if you can do. And in this case, you are competing, answering questions about the stages of a lesson. And let's see, how are you doing?
And while they're answering this, how do your students typically react when they get to do a monster quiz?
Oh, they love it. And at the beginning, they thought they needed to get the computers and move around. And then they realized they didn't have to be together like other applications we use.
Right.
So it is good. And I love about these quizzes where at the end it has a review. So hopefully we'll get there. I think the fire diver started on the lead. My kids get very competitive. I am a very competitive person. I think it goes through them. So I pass them the competitiveness.
I feel that. Me too. I'm like, calm down, everyone, but then inside of me.
I have color teams. I have 3 classes because I'm departmentalized. Each class will have points at the end of the week. They will get the rewards, whoever is in the winning team. So it creates a little challenge and some fun. Oh, we got a clear winner. So I'm going to end the quiz. And this is what I like, the review. And here are some of the, you can go on the class review. Like the first question, which are following describe a well-written learning objective. It has to be measurable, standard aligned, not focus on student behavior, though obviously not, based on teacher preference or broad and open-ended. Which strategy is an example of differentiation or scaffold, providing visuals. Extra homework will never be differentiation. So they are kind of obvious. And then I have a couple of true, false. Accommodation and extensions are both part of differentiated lesson plan. True. What is the primary purpose of the hook? capture the students' attention. Sometimes we forget that the hook is just to get people in. And a lesson plan template should include sections for objective, accommodation, and instructional method, true or false. So you can see and review with the students what it is. The total time was 1 minute 24, so it wasn't too bad. But I guess I had a GT class today. Sometimes this is the activity that it takes me the longest because they all want to know. I think everybody loves this. And you can access to all those questions. So when you are finished with your guiding activities and independent activities, you want a closure. You want to close your lesson. And there are tons of different activities you can do. Quick write, rock, paper, scissors is one of the options that are in the instructional, in the Lumio library. Thumbs up, thumbs down. These cute pictures, like the traffic lights, I love those too. The kids love them. So they can rank their understanding of a new. This picture that I have here is my favorite. It is what I use the most. Each one of my math activities at the end have a reflection. So I didn't have to create it. It was already in my basal required things to do. So I put it there, and the kids had actually a paper. It was the only paper that I made copies of. And I made 2 pages in one. So the kids will write their answers, and then they will record themselves reading aloud. And they can attach that. So I attach all the required things. My curriculum, writing in math, which is very hard to do sometimes, and also their practice reading, writing, and speaking because of my language objectives. So this was one way that I get the kids to practice. And at the beginning, they were very quiet, recording themselves. But at the end, they got more proficient. I think it helped them a lot. Most of my students are evaluated in their English proficiency at the end of a year, and they have to record themselves as part of the evaluation. So this provides a practice for them, and is pretty cool to see. And at the end of a lesson, I share normally some of the responses so they get to hear each other's or what they said, their responses. And as always, like, listen to mine, listen to mine. So they get very proud of the things that they write and they say. And that is my favorite closure. It takes a little bit longer sometimes, but a full lesson like this, it takes maybe 2 days. And it's so good now that we have sessions, so I can go back and open up that session for that particular group of students, and they can finish wherever they left off the day before. So that's one of my favorite features that I have. Now, where do I get all these ideas? From the Lumio library. So I have here, and I embedded a really quick video where it shows where you get our ideas from the Lumio library. Is at the very top. Then you have manipulatives, the templates, page templates, but these are my favorite, the instructional toolkits. And one of those is the off-screen objects. You can go and see all of them there. These are my go-to pages when I need ideas and I want to change something or make it in a different way. So there it is. So I hope you visit. I go daily to the library because there are new things all the time. And I'm one of the ambassadors, so now there is an ambassador library. Can't wait to go and see what they are uploading and what new ideas I can get, because I love trying new things. That's how I am. So
yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, Cristina, that was great. I love how you highlighted at the end how you can kind of find some of those pre-made resources as well. Today during our keynote speaker, I think they mentioned that too, where teachers, we have enough that we have to do, and you want to be able to go and use maybe some other people's idea. We don't all have to put in all that extra work. Sometimes we can learn from each other and get resources from each other. I also loved, Christina, throughout your lesson, you talked about how you can use the resources you already have. So if you have a curriculum and you really have to stick with that curriculum, you can totally do that in Lumio and you just build your lesson on top of that. So I really appreciate you highlighting that as well. Really great session. Thank you, Christina. So I just want to remind everyone else as we close up here, there are some additional resources that you can use to learn more about Lumio if you want to click on some of those links. But we have awesome webinars that are led typically by teachers in the classroom currently. And then we also have our academy, which the academy is going to be a self-paced course. So you can go as fast or as slow as you need to really learn and grasp those Lumio concepts and how you can use it in your classroom. Christina, could you go to the next slide for me?
Yes.
Thank you. If anybody on here would like to become an ambassador, you can apply today by clicking the link or scanning that QR code. Becoming an ambassador really helps you connect with people around the world. You learn from each other, and then you get some extra perks as well. And then if you are loving Lumiopalooza like I am, you can interact with us on social media, use these different hashtags or sentence stems that you have learned today throughout Christina's lesson or another lesson or session that you have been on as well. We are also going to pull winners for some different prizes. And then at the end, we now have our survey and questions. If you guys would please fill out this survey link, and then you will also get that certificate as well. But really great job, Christina, and I really appreciated learning from you today.
Well, thank you. I just like to play a lot with this.
Yes, of course. You gave some really great ideas. Do you have any suggestions for people who are getting just started with Lumio?
Go to the library, the Lumio library, try the templates. That's how I started it. Trying things that were pre-made and then practicing tweaking for my class, for my groups, and then slowly trying new things. And that's something about Lumio that is constantly changing and evolving. So you will see new things. The YouTube channel is fantastic too. It has minutes, short videos that you can learn, or updates that they tell you. So those are my go-to, the videos and the Lumio library. That will be the best start for somebody that is just getting started.
Very nice. Yeah, so learn on top of what's already there. And then speaking of that, Christina, would you mind if we shared your presentation today?
Yes, yeah, go for it.
Absolutely. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Christina.
You're welcome, and I hope you continue enjoying Lumiopalooza and become an ambassador. It's a lot of fun.
Yes. Do you have a specific favorite part of Lumio, being a Lumio ambassador?
Oh, I love the meetings, listening what other educators are doing and all over the world, how we all go through sometimes the same struggles, but sometimes getting new ideas. That is my favorite part. It's so easy. We have these meetups and questioning in the chat where we can get not just ideas, but also kind of like becoming a part of a community that makes you feel heard and encouraging.
Absolutely.
So I really like that. That's about my favorite part of being an ambassador, is to listening and learn from all over the world.
Absolutely. It is one of those things where sometimes teaching can feel so isolating. And then when you hear from other people, you hear that they're going through something similar and they can share with you about that. It's really amazing.
Yeah, it is. I really, really like it. So it's worth the time that you put in. Like, I'm an educator. I have a lot of things that I have to juggle, but this is one of the things that you just feels good. Like, I was at the keynote presentation this morning, and they were talking about how collaborating really help when we have to juggle so many things at once. So definitely becoming an ambassador helped me get more ideas. And it seems like I put some time in, but I get it back. So it's an investment.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much again, Christina. I've said that so many times, but we have shared that link with you, and I will see you later at more Lumia Palooza, I hope.
Yes. Have fun.